Hi, guys. I hope you're having an amazing, beautiful, positive day. I'm sending you so much love and so much peaceful, balanced energy. It is Misha with Feels with Meesh. If you guys are new here, we talk about feelings, understanding our feelings, mastering our feelings to be the best versions of ourselves.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, cause you choose your fate.
If you guys would like to invest in yourself and book a one-on-one healing and self-mastery session with me, you can email me coaching@feelswithmeesh.com. The only thing standing in between you and the life which you desire is you. It is you. It is your limiting beliefs. Because whatever you desire, it already exists out in another dimension, in another reality. You wouldn't desire it if it didn't already exist. And the only thing standing in between you and that which you desire is you. It's your limiting beliefs. And so we go on this journey to healing and self mastery, to aligning with our highest potential of ourselves. And those of you that are on this journey, you might be in the space where you're recognizing that there is almost like the devil and the angel fighting in your head, right? The devil being your limiting beliefs, and the angel being the voice, your higher self, your higher mind, your soul, source, God, universe, higher power, Allah, whoever you believe in. And it's that voice observing the limiting beliefs. Now, when you are unconsciously manifesting, I mean, most of us have gone our entire life being unconscious to our potential, right? And we just manifest time and time again circumstances, situations, scenarios that are evidence, we deem as evidence, as something standing in between us and our desires, right? We also manifest in the same behavioral patterns. We show up the exact same way. It's because when you're unconscious, you don't even have the awareness that you can heal and master yourself and evolve and elevate into these higher versions of yourself. And so until we become the conscious creator, we will continuously be living the same lessons over and over and over again. And it is us, it is you, it is me that has the power to overcome ourselves, right? This is your experience. Nobody is living your experience, right? This is the amazing part about this human experience. When you start to recognize this experience as kind of like a video game, not experiencing your video game, right? Nobody is experiencing your video game. You're the only thinker in your reality. You're the only one that hears your thoughts. You're the only one that has lived your life, that lives, eats, breathes, sees through your eyes, dreams your dreams as you sleep. You're the only person who is living that experience. And so nobody is here living in your video game the way that you are. Now, the other thing about that is that we're manifesting everything, everything. And what we're creating comes from the stories that we are attaching to the things in our life and the story that we hold of ourselves. And the past, I don't know how many episodes now of my podcast you guys have been listening to that I've spoke about the law of assumption. But as I've awakened to this law, I see clearly, clear as day, how things are manifesting in my life, right? The negative stories that I have attached to things and the negative story that I hold of myself in those areas are always harder. Like there's always this feeling of it being harder or this resistance there. But there are certain things in my life that there's zero attachment to. There's no, it just is. And I just am in those areas and it's effortless. and it just aligns in the best way possible. I'm not overthinking it. There's no agenda behind it. It's authentic, right? And so, what in your life can you compare? The resistance, the attachment, the stress, the worry, the doubt, the fear, the limiting beliefs, the devil on your shoulder, right? This is going to be an area of your life that the devil is loud there, right? There's a negative story, there's a negative belief there, that being the devil, right? And then what areas of your life do you thrive in? And it's effortless because you hold yourself in high regard. You see yourself in, maybe you don't even, you're not even consciously aware because it's just so effortless to you that the story that you have, it's just always positive. You just are without trying. So that would be where we want to move into in this, really just recognizing those limiting beliefs. Recognize when you are being pulled into that space of fear, lack, hate, doubt, judgment, self-criticism. Where in your life do you hold resistance because of the devil that is in your mind? It's in your mind. It's the part of you that keeps failing time and time again the lessons that you're here to master to help you evolve to the next phase of your life, right? All of it is so specific to you. Nobody's lived your life. And so the beliefs that you have, the story that you have of yourself in your life, it's so specific to you. I got on here with no makeup on today, and like that is, I don't know what layer or had to break through, um, limiting belief, self criticism that I had to break through to get to a place where, well, I do know, sorry, and I'll explain, where I can just show up here in my authentic self and be comfortable and confident. And what it is we have to pour into ourselves. If we're not confident, right? There's a version of me that would have never ever ever done this. Never been on camera without doing some type of eyebrow or putting a lash on or something, because the voice in my head, the devil in my mind, would have told me, oh, you have to wear makeup. You have to, because you're not enough. You're not pretty enough. You need to show up a certain type of way in order for your stuff to be of any value, right? Um, and that's the devil on my shoulder, in my ear, right? And because I have spent, and this is a message for somebody, because this is what we do, we have to become our own cheerleader. And I've, said that in a past video that I posted on here. You have to literally brainwash yourself to believe in a new version of you, a version that is worthy. And you are enough just as you are. You do not have to do anything more but view yourself in a different light and embody that feeling and that knowing within yourself. And the confidence then radiates from you. And that devil, you start to observe the devil. The angel starts to observe the devil, right? Because you've been pouring into the angel more than you've been pouring into the devil. And the angel starts to observe the thoughts of the devil and those limiting beliefs. And you start to disagree with the devil. And the more and more that you pour into yourself, you're disagreeing with these limiting beliefs. You're starting to gain control of those limiting beliefs. You're seeing them as separate from you. Whereas before, you would become the limiting belief. You would allow the limiting belief to control you. And the limiting belief, when you're working on healing this part of yourself, you're going to see these limiting beliefs manifest in people, places, and things, in words that people say, in trolls on the internet, in creepy guys saying weird things to you. Like, it will be word for word your limiting belief coming from their mouth, or something typed on the internet, or your boss saying something to you. And it's so interesting because this is how the universe, God, higher power, Allah, whomever you believe in, your higher self, this is how we're being tested to evolve. It's Have you ironed out that part of yourself enough where you have detached yourself from that version of yourself and aligned in a new and higher, elevated version of who you are, right? Where that devil no longer has control over the present moment, where you have evolved past the limiting belief of yourself and you're seeing yourself in a different light. We are changing the concept of who we are and evolving into a new version of ourselves. I know many women listening to this podcast today, you might be listening to this and you could never not put makeup on. Like, I get it. I worked at Mac, I've worked at Sephora. I have, you know, like I'm a 90s baby, so I grew up in the social media era that has, the Paris Hilton era, the Kim Kardashian era, where we're just brainwashed to believe that our worth and our value exists in the way that we look or the money that we have or what we are doing. But I'm here to tell you that your value and your worth comes from within you. It's internal. It's in your energy. It's in your presence. You do not have to do anything or be anything more because you are already enough. You were always enough. And when you strip away those limiting beliefs and you can just be, naked with yourself and appreciate and value who you are, there is a peace that you will find that you have never felt before, and it becomes addicting. And in that peace, you will then repel, reject, push away, say no to anything that comes into conflict with that peace. And you will have arms open and invite in those other peaceful energies, the positive, the happy, the kind, the gracious, and from there we just keep going up. We keep evolving more. And we observe ourselves more. We observe the limiting beliefs more. We are almost living two dualities. Like, we're living a duality of two parallel realities existing at the same time, of the devil and the angel. And the angel, the more healing we do, the more we pour into ourselves, the more we observe ourselves and appreciate who we are, the more we heal our concept of ourselves and those negative stories that have plagued our life, the more we heal from that and we detach from our past, the more abundant we become. The more abundant we become, the more confident we become, the more attractive we become. And it comes from within us. That is authentic. That's authentic. It's authenticity because it comes from within. You're not trying or putting on a show to be something in this world. It comes from an internal space, which is then reflected in the reality that you are experiencing. And you're able to easily observe that old version of you as he or she is not necessarily showing up, but in your mind showing up. Because then we start to recognize the power that we have in choosing to be the version in every moment, in every now moment, choosing to be that old version or to be the elevated version of ourselves. For me, another thing that I've really worked on as of, the past couple of years, I've been working on this, but really going hard on it for the past, I don't know, probably year now, is being more quiet and recognizing the power that exists in my silence and being less reactive, because I was a child that was always reactive. That was like a lesson that I was always repeating, being reactive, 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 reactive. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm working every day at myself, but we recognize as being the reactive version of ourselves, we rarely get our way. right? And the reactive version can manipulate things to go our way, but it never is authentic then. And there's more power in the silence. As a woman, there's more power in the silence. So I recognize that version of me now. The calm, cool, and relaxed version. I mean, the version of me that is reactive and still needs to speak her piece and needs to chime in and needs to give advice. She still very much exists, right? Because we can choose to be that version if we choose to. But as I stop myself and the devil is there reacting and getting annoyed and wanting to react, right? The angel, my higher self, the best version of me, chimes in and observes the devil on my shoulder and takes a deep breath and lets myself be present within myself and calm. And from that space of calmness, we're then choosing how we want to show up. We're choosing to either repeat the lesson or evolve past it. And every time that I've chosen to evolve past it, I'm always led to a greater, bigger, and better space of abundance in my life. This is for any of you that are evolving into yourself and you have these moments where you're fluctuating in between and you allow the devil to take over sometimes, and you allow your old self or your reactive self or the version of you that shuts down or the version of you that can't speak your truth, the version of you that feels insecure, you allow that version of you to take over. And I want you to know that it is a process. It is a journey of self, journey to self. The more that we're persisting through these lessons, we then become the angel. We then ascend to the observer. We gain control and power of ourselves in our life, and we then become the version that is observing that old version and not shaming or guilting or making that version of us feel bad, not feeling bad because that version is existing still. The observer is nurturing that version. The observer is understanding why that version still shows up. The observer is accountable and calm and nurturing. And the observer is gentle. So the more that I've become gentle with myself, the easier it is to heal and ascend past the older versions of me. We have our moments. We're human. We're experiencing this human experience filled with all these emotions. And the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about mastering our energy and mastering our feelings, right? Understanding our feelings. And this is about the mind. And the mind is so powerful because the mind then generates the feelings, right? The thoughts come first. So it's like people asking the chicken or the egg. Um, the thoughts come first. So we want to then master our thoughts, understanding that the thoughts are triggering the emotions that we're having, but we don't have to become the emotion. We can observe the emotion and then change the thoughts as we're observing the emotion. And all of it works together to either align you in your best version of self or keep you at the same level in the video game that you are experiencing. And the success is already there, right? You can win in life if you're growing and evolving past the devil, the limiting beliefs that you have. And nobody can do that but you. All of it is created in the mind, all of it exists in your own mind. It's so beautiful as we ascend past these old versions of ourselves. We heal and we can completely detach from who we were and align in who we are now. And if you guys would like to invest in yourself and book a one-on-one coaching session with me, you can email me coaching@feelswithmeesh.com. I love you guys so, so, so much. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful, positive day because you absolutely deserve it.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't no mistake, 'cause you choose your fate.